Before we continue on to the other shaders, there's just one more thing I want to do to the dark chocolates layer. I'm going to come in there, find my dark chocolate, and I want to work on the anisotropy. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but it doesn't really matter. So what this does, we did add a little bit of that to the caramel. It basically affects the direction of the scatter color, right, in comparison with the light. So we can actually, it says this here, if we highlight over the name, you can see it says the directional bias or anisotropy of the scattering, so this color. The default value of 0 gives isotropic scattering, so the light scattered evenly in all directions. So at the moment, that's what we've got. The light goes in, some of the light penetrates the surface and just goes in all directions, right? However, if we give it a positive value, the scattering affects forwards in the direction of the light, so towards, you know, the highlight in our case, and a negative value biases scattered backwards towards the light. Okay, so I'm going to give this a value of, I'm going to go in positive 0.75. You can see how that darkens it quite a lot as the lights, the scattering light is changing direction, right? So we'll take a snapshot of that, compare the two, much better now, nice contrast between the three there. So let's go ahead and I'm going to press H just to fill the screen, have a look at our ice cream. So for the ice cream, let's see, so I don't want it to be this kind of yellow. I've got a nice brown color that I'm going to use, and the code for that, so 238 I've got, not green, that's a bit over the top there, 0.09253, 0.03689. So that should give us, yeah, this nice light brown. Okay, we're going to want a lot more roughness, obviously, on this. Let's push it up 921. So you should see the highlights go there. And furthermore, the specular, I'm going to bring it down. So the strength of the specular highlight. There we go. You can see that it's kind of flattening it out, you know. Index refraction, bring that down just a little bit. And we'll add some subsurface to this. So I don't want too much. If I give it just a tiny bit, 0.1, give it some color to the subsurface, right? I've got a kind of nice dark brown. 67 there, 0.2346, 0.01165. The radius, so remember the radius is how far into the object the light travels before it begins to scatter, and the scale is just like a multiplier on that. So I'll bring this down to 0.2 more or less, a bit more, 1.8, and scale that down to 0.1. We'll give this some anisotropy as well, 0.5. Great. Compare the old and the new. Take a snapshot of that. Or maybe wait for it to finish rendering the ice cream part at least. Just these few boxes. Good. Okay. What else? So we got the ice cream, the chocolate caramel, and this kind of white creamy stuff is done. Let's take a look at the stick here at the bottom. This handle. So I'll highlight that. Let's go and find that, our wood layer. Okay, so for this we're gonna need some texture to make it look like wood, basically. And what I'm gonna do is drop a noise node. open that out and connect it, the color, directly up to the base color. So for the base color, I just want some big noise, just a general difference, you know, something quite not fine detail. So, you know, we're getting close to it there. Just it's a bit darker there, a bit lighter there. Let's kind of push the scale up a bit, even more. A bit more. 0.6. Go. And on the offset, we can just kind of move it around, just so we'll get the same noise, but just in a different place. So you can see, if you keep an eye on the render area there, you can see it moving around. Just keep moving until you find something that you like. Maybe something like that. Like I said, something quite subtle. So obviously we don't want this in black and white. We got a grade between black and white there, so we can put in our kind of woody colors here. So I'm going to drop a 599 in red, 0.186289, oops, 289 in yellow, and then 0 there. And then in this color we got 1, and 0.694 and a 0.388. And there we go, we get this nice light woody color. Let's take a snapshot of that. Good, you can see just a bit of difference there. And then let's see, we can use a color corrected to affect the color in general. Connect that up. Okay, so we can use this can change the hue. Obviously we don't want to do that. Just your typical kind of color correct stuff. More contrast sometimes is nice, right? But I just want to maybe, oops, put that to 1. Just want to raise the gamma a little bit. Oh, sorry, drop it a bit. Cool, and then let's see what else. Yeah, so I want to add some noise to the normal, so give us some bump, right? So I'm going to drop another noise here, and we need a bump 2D, I think it's called. Yeah, we've used this already for the fruit that we've rendered in the past. So we're going to connect up one of these channels, because we only need a grayscale to the bump map. You could use any RGB, I think it wouldn't matter really. And connect the vector up to the normal. We might get something weird, not yet. I'm going to give it lots of detail, lots of octaves. There we go, now we're getting something. But obviously it's quite a bit over the top. So we can scale this in a certain direction. If I scale this 20, we'll stretch it out there. See that? And just a little bit in Y. And obviously we need to take it down a bit. The amount of bump there is way too high. Gonna drop that down. Just want a really subtle effect, okay? 0.0, can't see what I'm writing. 0.95. Just something like that is fine. Great. Okay, and then let's see what else. I think the rest, more roughness definitely. It's looking a bit plasticky now, hopefully. Let's soften it out a bit. It should be good for the wood. Okay, take another snapshot of that. And what else? The background now. The backdrop, I mean. So maybe we should view the whole thing like that. So I'm going to do like a dark brown for this. So let's find a nice dark color. So I've got this one prepared here. I'm going to do 0.104,944. Give you these numbers so you can get we get the same result as the render then. 0.00174917. Okay, and then this at 0. Get this nice dark brown. And the rest we'll leave as it is. We will probably be adding some depth of field to the camera, so you know this will all be really blurry. Okay, so I think we are good to go with our materials now. Let's let that render out and then we'll continue on from there.